Hi, you guys. It is Thursday, March 23rd, 2017. My name is Doris, and this is the Knit and Pearl Podcast, episode 121. All the things and prize draw. If you are new, thank you for coming by. I hope that you will find something of entertainment and inspiration, and that if you do, go over here and click this subscribe button and you will get notifications when there is a new podcast. You can also go over here, hit that thumbs up button, and I would thank you so much. And also for you, those of you who are faithful viewers, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And awesome. So you can find the show notes for this podcast on knitandpearl.net. I usually link all the things that I talk about, including my social media things and the Ravelry group, and just everything that I talk about. I link so you can go over there, click on the links, and view some of the stuff yourself. Thank you. In social media, I am One Fine Cow on Ravelry and Twitter. I am One Fine Design, the number one, on Facebook and Etsy. And I am Doris M. Smith, all lowercase and smooshed together, on Instagram. Like I said, those things are linked in the show notes. You can go click on those and follow me, and I'll follow you back, and it'll be wonderful. This podcast has a Ravelry group, which is the Knit and Pearl Podcast group, also linked in the show notes. We have 2 new members since the last podcast. We have Eliz Stitches, who is Bets, and we have Ed Hurley at Hurley. So thank you for coming by, for stopping by, and for joining the group. If you want to introduce yourselves, let us know who you are and what you're doing. So that brings us to Ravelry Group birthday shout outs, and the birthday shout outs were from March 16th to the end of March 31st. So we have Life Full of Laughs, who is Lisa. Her birthday was on the 16th. We have Joanne Spring, who is Joanne, and her birthday was on the 19th. L. Clark, 10/18/96, who is Lori, and her birthday is on the 20th, or was on the 20th. May G, who is Gloria, her birthday was on the 22nd. And we have Pookie Graham, who is Jan. Her birthday will be on the 25th. So happy birthday, you all. I hope that you did have or will have a wonderful birthday, that you get to do all the things that you would like to do, that you get to spend time with friends and family, and you get good fibery gifts, and you eat birthday cake. If you like birthday cake, or your version of a birthday cake that you love, I hope that you get plenty. Okay. After all of that brings us to the Red Knit Along for Valentine's Day and Heart Health prize draw. Prize is any item in my shop of the winner's choice. We had 8 entries. Got the names down, and I'm going to do a random number generator, so get ready, people. Here we go. So it is 1 through 8, since I wrote down separated. So it's 1 through 8. So I can show you 1 through 8. Generate. Number 7 is the winner. Number 7. Number 7 is Hope Noel. Congratulations, Hope. Please contact me here or in the Ravelry group and let me know what you would like from my shop. No price limit, whatever you want, your pick, and I will get that to you as soon as I possibly can. Thank you so much for participating in the Valentine's Heart Health Read Along. So, while we're on knit alongs, I've been thinking it would be fun, or it would be good to do a springtime, like April 1st to May. I was going to say May 9th since that's my birthday. For a market bag along, springtime market bag along. What do you guys think? Anyone have any other thing that they might want to knit in the springtime? If anyone has any other ideas, I just leave them in the comments down below or in the episode thread in Ravelry, and I would thank you very much. Did I say Hope Noel contact me through Ravelry or down below? And yeah, okay. That's all of that. So that brings us to Story of the Week and Stash Enhancement. And I wrote in my notes that I had no stash, but today I got a piece of mail with some stash. I got the last skein of yarn for my eyeball shawl, Stephen West eyeball shawl. So here it is. Oh, it's almost that bright. Not quite that bright, but almost that bright. The color is called Hot Pink. It is 100% superwash merino, 490 yards, 100 grams, and it's a semi-solid. And it is from Mint Rain Hand-Dyed Yarns. Here's her little tag from the yarn and her information. I got this off of Etsy. And when I looked at, and she sent me a few little things, little extras. I guess this is a little candy eraser. And this is a black, one of those. And a little pack of Smarties that Ted ate. And here is her card, which I was having trouble. She is Mint Rain on Ravelry. And on Instagram, she is at Mint Rain Yarns. And she has an email address. There she is. I didn't think this was going to come out good, but there's the information. And I will try to remember to link her in the show notes with the stash enhancement. This is really pretty, reasonably priced. And now I guess I got all my yarn. It's time to start the eyeball shawl. A little nervous. This is my first Stephen West project, so I'm a little bit nervous, but okay. So next, the rest of the story. So since the last episode, I have finished some things, and I have started and finished one thing, and I have had a non-knitting thing happen. So last Sunday, a week ago, last Sunday, not this past, I had been sitting at the computer knitting and watching podcasts, and it was like 11 o'clock, and I'm like, oh, I got so much to do today. I need to get busy. So I get up, I get a first load of laundry, and I usually get my sheets and my towels, and I throw them in the basement, and then I get the other stuff and carry it down. So I did that with my first load, and we have a ledge between the kitchen that goes down into the family room, and then the basement door is right there. So I stepped down with my hands full, and the dog bone was right under my foot, and I fell, rolled my ankle, And I thought to myself, it was very painful, but I thought, no, I have so much to do. I can't deal with this. No. So I get up, I shake it off. Well, I get help getting up. I shake it off. I start the laundry, do all that stuff, do some stuff. You know, at first when you have an injury, it's kind of numb, so you don't really, it's kind of like, ugh, but a little numb, so you don't feel the pain. So I just kept going. I kept going up and down the steps doing laundry. I kept trying to get stuff done, and Ted was gone trying to get his stuff wrapped up. And when he came home, I think I even cooked supper. And by that time I said, you know what? No, I didn't cook supper. He brought supper home. I have to go to the urgent care because it was hurting and it was starting to hurt. And I'm like, I have to go to work tomorrow. I need to go find out what I actually did. So went to urgent care, walked in, but was really holding on to Ted. Anyway, long story short, I ended up spending 2 days in the bed with ice, compression, elevation, rest, ice, compress, elevate, the rice thing. So I did that for 2 days. I went back to work Wednesday, but I've been suffering. It's been hurting. So this past Saturday, I finished some spinning, some plying, and the next day it was hurting. And then Monday or Tuesday, I did some spinning, and because I thought, this motion, there's no pressure. I thought it would be good for my ankle, but the next day it was painful again. So no spinning for me for a while, I guess. Anyway, that's that story. I'm doing fine. I'm doing okay. Just as you get older, it takes twice as long to bounce back from a little strain. It was, no broken bones. It was just an ankle strain. So that is all. And we had a birthday party, and you'll see in the finished objects and stuff. It was just a good time. And I also posted a finished objects video, bonus video on YouTube. I didn't put it through iTunes. So if you want to see that, go over to YouTube. It's just a bonus finished objects. So you can go look at that. Okay. Health Pearl. I do have a Health Pearl this week. And you can find the links to the Health Pearl in... Okay, what is the... Oh, got the wrong thumb. Okay. What was I saying? Links to the Health Pearl in the show notes. It is God's Pharmacy is amazing. So the premise of this is, it has been said that God first separated the salt water and the fresh, made dry ground and planted a garden, made animals and fish before making humans. God made and provided what we needed before we were born. These foods are best and more powerful when eaten raw. God left us great clues as to what the foods help what body parts. So it just starts, it looks like this. I'm going to read a couple. So the first one is carrot, and they show it as a slice like that. And it says, a sliced carrot looks like the human eye. The pupil, the iris, the radiating lines look just like a human eye. And yes, science now shows carrots greatly enhance blood flow to and function of the eyes. The tomato. Get a closer look. The tomato has 4 chambers and is red. The heart has 4 chambers and is red. All this research shows tomatoes are loaded with lycopene and are, I probably said that wrong, lycopene, and are indeed pure heart and blood food. Grapes hanging in cluster that Has the shape of a heart. Each grape looks like a blood cell, and all the research today shows grapes are also profound heart and blood vitalizing foods. The walnut looks like a little brain. The left and the right hemisphere, the upper cerebellum, the lower cerebellum, even the wrinkles and the folds in the nuts look like the neurocortex. Can I get a better, you can see it better now. Anyway, you get the picture with the so it says, we now know walnuts help develop more than 3 dozen neurotransmitters for the brain's function. So as it goes on, the kidney beans looks like a kidney and is helpful, beneficial for the human kidney. Celery, bok choy, and rhubarb are all look like bones and have good calcium for the bones. Avocados looks like the womb or a cervix of a female, and it provides what we need to have a healthy reproductive system. So I'm not going to read anymore, but if you're interested, it's a really interesting article. Really interesting. So there's the health pearl. Which brings us into foes. Yay, I have 3 foes. One is already gone and is the video that I did. So if you're interested, go over to YouTube and look for that video on my channel. But I will show you the finished object. There it is, the mermaid tail lapkin blanket, which is a paid for pattern I got on Etsy by Marta Stellar. The yarn is the top pink. The top pink is the jelly beans, and the colors in the 2385. The other pink is a red heart, and the blue is not written down. I love this yarn. Metallic Royal Sparkle is the color. And she's also got the mermaid, the Barbie mermaid tail, which was a finished object last week. And this, I think she likes it. Can you tell? I think she likes it. That makes it all worthwhile. It took me a little over a month to knit, and the last 2 or 3 weeks were like jammed packed full of just knitting to get it done, and it's all worth it when you get a smile like that. So the next finished object is this. This is the Angel Hat, which is a free pattern on Ravelry by KF Jones. She put out this free pattern as a thank you for all the happy thoughts and stuff as Dan was going through his surgery. It's a really fun knit, easy knit. I recommend it. So the colors I used, I was just using up stash. I wanted to use up this jelly bean yarn, Plymouth yarn jelly bean, the color 2385. And the other pink is stash that I don't know what it is, because I finished this and I needed to finish. And I used my US 8 Knitter's Pride Dreams US 8 at 24 inch. No, I didn't. This call, sorry, wrong finished objects. I used US 6 and US 7 40-inch circulars, my Addi Turbos, and I knit it in Magic Loop. Like I said, this is a fun, nice pattern. It's got some cute texture. It's just knit 1, purl 1 with a purl row every third row is a purl row with the nice decreases. Can you see it? Nope. If I could show it right, you could see it. There we go. That's how the decreases go. Very nice. There you go. Go over and get it. It's really nice. Okay, so I'm taking a chance. I'm going to put it on so you can see. I didn't make it as long as the pattern called for. I think it was supposed to be like 8 inches and then the decrease. I did just 7 inches because I wanted to be more of a beanie than a slouchy. It's nice. It fits nice. It's snug. There you go. Yeah, I didn't mess up my hair too much. So that's the second finished object. And the third finished object is some beautiful hand spun. This hand spun I got in one of my Christmas swap packages. It is Curly CU, and it's Cheviot. After I spun it and plied it, I weighed it. It is 3.2 ounces, and I have 200 yards of a 2-ply. There's no color name, but isn't that just gorgeous? I think it was a very nice spin. It's fairly even. There's a few thick and thin spots in places, but overall it's nice and even. Someone tell me if you know. I think this is a worsted to light worsted spin. It's so pretty. There's pinks and blues and there's a little bit of beige in it, and I really like it. Thank you to my swap partner for such a nice gift. So that is all the finished objects to be had. Let me put that back to some semblance of a skein. Okay, that's all the finished works in progress. It's not very many. I started some, well, let me just go through. One you've already seen is the Cozy Schlanket. I did it modified. I'm almost done. It's almost done. So it looks nice on the camera. And it's balled up at the bottom. I think I have go the other way. Here's where I was last time. The rows are so long now that it's hard to pick up. It's kind of been a slug for me to pick up because it's do I have time to knit a row? I don't know. So anyway, I'm on the border and 7, 8, 9. I have about 3 more rows, 2 or 3 more rows, and then I do the I-cord bind off, and this will be done. So hopefully it'll be done this weekend. It's very nice. It's modified because I'm using just these Caron cakes, and I didn't want to I just wanted to knit it straight through. This is the second Caron cake in the blueberry cheesecake colorway. It's not going to. So I modified it because I didn't want to. I wasn't going to, I was just going to knit it straight through. I wasn't going to have changing colored of yarn. So I eliminated the transitioning and knitted more of each pattern section to make up the difference. So yeah, I think it's going to be so nice, and I hope the recipient loves it and gets enjoyment and use out of it. There we go. I've done a little bit more of this brioche thingamabobby. Thingamabobby. And there's a few mistakes. But it's fun. I haven't done much of it this week. But it's fun. It's easy. It really is. It's not hard once you get. I did a tutorial. If you can look on last week's show notes and click on the tutorial that I looked at to learn. It's not bad. Brioche isn't bad. I needed to know how to do brioche in preparation for the eyeball shawl. There you go. Finally, I have one more project that is a red thing. In my Joanne Springs Knit Spin Farm bag. Happy birthday, Joanne. I have this red project that I started. I don't know when I started it. I knit on it quite a bit in the bed while I was recouping. I'm using this something again to get out of my stash. This big, bulky, super chunky yarn that I don't know what it is. The one I tried to spin. I'm just like, I'm just going to knit this and get it out. So I think it's going to be, I'm going to knit a little bit more, and then I'm going to make a pouch. I might felt it. I might just line it. I don't know. But it's nice. It's my unfinished read along thing. You'll see it when it's done. Whatever it's going to be. There it is. And let me just tell you that the needle size I'm using is 15. 15 straights. Just cheap Walmart. What are these? Boys. I think, yeah, boys, yeah. These are just boys. US 15. It's an enjoyable knit. It's kind of fun when you look at it. It's like, them stitches are big. Okay, come on, Doris. You need to move on. Okay, so that's all the works in progress. I did start some spinning. Like I said, and I realized that I can't spin for a while until this ankle gets a little better. So it'll be a long-term project, but I so enjoyed the spinning that I did that I have done. So I started Joanne Springs fiber that I purchased a little bit ago. You saw it last week. She's on Etsy. And it is 4 ounces of Shetland roving, which I have never spun before, and I like it. I'm liking it a lot. I like that I can feel the it's lanolin still. There's a little bit of pink, brown, purpley colors, and red. And I can't wait to see what it turns into. So that brings us to Pinterest and Stumble. Sorry for that noise. I forgot what I put for Pinterest. Pinterest. Four essential ways to bind off your knitting. And it's from Craftsy. Here's what it looks like. So, most of us probably have used these and had to learn them for certain projects. But it's always good to review. I have never done a picot bind off, so. And then with this, it is tutorials on how to do each bind off. So I thought it was good. Some of us might need a little refresher sometimes. There you go. There you go. Also, I just want to show you something that I'm contemplating knitting for around Easter for the little ones. The little ones. Come on. Okay, you know what? Here it comes. They're so cute. There it is. Oh my goodness. It's a little floppy bunny. It doesn't take much yarn and much time to do it, and I'm really contemplate doing it because it's so cute. They're small because she's like used 2 cotton balls to stuff them, or beans, little tiny beans, make it a little beanie. What is the name of this called? It's a tumbling bunnies. That's a little extra share for you if you're interested and you want to do a little Easter thing. Okay. Stumble. I stumbled across this one a couple weeks ago. We all have times in our life when we need to relax. This is box breathing, which is a Navy SEALs breathing technique from Quiet Kit. This is what you can do to try to help you calm down, refocus. So it gives you a little box and it gives you instructions on how to breathe. If you're interested in looking at it and reading, you can go to the show notes, and it's pretty simple. It's just like inhale for 4 seconds. As the circle expands, hold your lungs full for 4 seconds, and then exhale for 4 seconds. The Navy SEALs breathing technique, aka box breathing or technical breathing, is used to calm yourself down. A simple 4-second rotation of breathing and holding, breathing out and holding. I thought that was interesting and something that we could all use at some time in our life. So finally, there's a link in the show notes to my Etsy store for that winner who won something. Go pick out what you want. Contact me and let me know what it is, and I'll get it out to you. Of course, you have to give me your address too. So, and to all of you others who maybe didn't win, go take a look. Give me some love. And if you find something that you would like to purchase, I would happily wrap it up and send it out to you. See you guys next time.